Good morning. This is George Kahn, and this is today's Quiet Echo. I want to take you to a place you have never seen, even if you eat in my town every day of your life. It is the back of my deli at 5 in the morning, before the sign says open, before the first person walks in wanting breakfast. It is a doorway and an alley and a single bulb. It is the part of the work nobody is ever meant to see. Let me tell you who is talking, so you know where I am standing. I have run this counter for 31 years. I have sliced the pastrami and worked the register and watched this town come through my door since before some of you were born. But the counter is the front of the story. This morning I want to tell you about the back. At 5 in the morning, the dark is still solid against the glass. And then I hear the truck, the brakes, the door rolling up, a man swinging trays of bread down 2 at a time. He has driven this route for years. He knows I want the rye stacked by the slicer, and he stacks it there without me asking. By the time I unlock the front and the first person wants eggs, the bread is already on the shelf. Nobody wonders how it got there. The plate comes out. As far as the morning is concerned, the plate is the whole story. Now, like everyone else, I have been reading about beef. You have too. It is in every story this week. Beef hit $9.64 a pound, a record, the highest the government has ever measured. People say it out loud at my counter, shaking their heads, and they are not wrong to. Folks know the price of it now, the way they once knew the price of gas. But I stand in a spot where I notice what the number leaves out. Here is what I mean. A story about the price of food gets told from two ends, and only two. There is the rancher at one end out on the land, selling fewer cattle than his father did, watching the grass dry up. And there is you at the other end at the register, turning the package to find the total, doing the arithmetic in your head before the kids see your face. The farm and the table. Both ends get counted. Both ends get a face in the paper, and they should. The middle does not, and the middle is most of it. The middle is everybody who moves the food between those two ends, the people who load it in the dark and drive it across a county and carry it through a back door before the sign is turned to open. No story prices them. No headline asks if they are still out there doing it. Their work reaches you as food and never as themselves. You taste the bread. You never meet the man who drove it through the cold. This spring, out in Denver, one of those middle places gave us a look at itself by disappearing. There was a bakery called Aspen. It had baked for 30 years. It delivered to the restaurants, the schools, the hospitals, the whole city bread by the thousands of loaves every single morning before light. And then it was sold. On a Friday in March, the truck simply stopped. The kitchens found out the way you always find out about the middle of something. The delivery did not come. You reach for the thing and the thing is not there. And only then do you think about the hands which used to put it there. The driver found out worse than the kitchens did. He ran his Friday route, same as any Friday, trays down 2 at a time. He drove the empty truck back to the bakery at the end of the day. And they told him there was no longer a job for him. He had carried the bread for years, and the bread was the last thing any of us thought about, until the morning the bread was gone. I read about it standing behind my own counter, and then I put the paper down and walked to the back and stood at my own door a while. Here is the thing I keep coming back to. A country can learn the price of a steak down to the penny, and not learn the name of the man who brings the bread. We have built ourselves a way of seeing food as a way which counts the cow, and counts the cash register, and skips everything in between. But the middle is where the work is. The middle is the first thing cut when the arithmetic gets hard. And when it goes quietly. The first you ever hear of it is the morning the truck does not come. So this morning, my driver came, same as always. I have known him 11 years. I know his truck. I know his brakes. I know the particular way he swings the trays down off the back. I have said good morning to him 10,000 times, and I have asked him his last name maybe twice. So this morning I asked it again. He looked at me for a second, like he was deciding if something was wrong. And then he told me. And I wrote it down on the pad by the register, right between an order for a half a pound of pastrami and a note to call the produce man back. Tomorrow it will be dark again at 5. The truck will come or it will not, and the difference when it comes will be a person you were never once told to look for. So I will leave you with the only thing I know how to ask. When something comes to your door before you are even awake to see it, the bread, the milk, the produce, the package on the step go to the door. Look at the person carrying it and learn their name. This is George Kahn, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Cedar Valley News has a Facebook group, and you are welcome in it. If today's episode brought to mind someone who carries something to your door before the town is awake, someone whose name you have never learned, come and tell us about them. I will put the link in the show notes. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people and town of Cedar Valley are fictional, the closure of Aspen Baking Company and the record beef prices referenced in this episode are real.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.